Hello, boys and girls. Today we are going to read a book about Hello Kitty is Cinderella. Cinderella. Okay. Now I will introduce you to the cast. Hello Kitty is Cinderella. Dear Daniel is Prince Charming. Mimi is the fairy godmother of Hello Kitty. Jody is the father. Tippy is Max. Fifi is Matilda. Tracy is the coachman. Thomas is the footman. Hello Kitty and her friends are very excited. They are acting in the school play. The costumes are ready. The cast have learned their lines and the audience is starting to arrive. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, take your seats for Cinderella. Once upon a time, in the kingdom of Foreverland, there lived a beautiful young girl called Cinderella. She lived in a small cottage with her stepbrother Max and her stepsister Matilda. Cinderella was really hardworking and did lots of the family's house chores. She cooked and cleaned, tidied and washed, all without complaining. Max and Matilda were kind-hearted and fun, but they could sometimes be a little naughty. They loved to play tricks on Cinderella. One day, there was a royal announcement. The king was to hold a grand party at the royal palace for his son, Prince Charming. Invitations arrived at the cottage for Max and Matilda, but it seemed that there was nothing for Cinderella. She was very sad. Every day, Cinderella waited for the post, but a week passed and no invitation arrived. She wouldn't be going to the ball. Cinderella didn't know that naughty Max and Matilda had hidden her invitation. They had meant to give it to her. Eventually, Bart had forgotten all about it. The night of the ball arrived. Max and Matilda spent a long time getting ready. Matilda chose a beautiful gown, a sparkling tiara, and sequin shoes. Max and Matilda went off to the ball. They wondered if they had forgotten something, but really couldn't remember what it was. Cinderella was left at home feeling sad. She decided to bake some chocolate cookies for everyone to eat when they returned. Cinderella was just taking out her chocolate cookies out from the oven. Flash! A fairy-like creature flew into the kitchen. "Who are you?" asked Cinderella. "I am your fairy godmother. With my help, Cinders, you shall go to the ball." "But how? I have no time to get ready, and I have no transport to get there." The fairy godmother asked Cinderella to fetch a pumpkin from the garden, Max pet white mice, and Matilda's favorite teddy bear. How puzzling! The fairy godmother waved her wand over the pumpkin, mice, and teddy bear. Before Cinderella's eyes transformed into a glittering carriage with 4 white horses and a very dashing coachman. "But I can't go to the ball dressed like this," said Cinderella, looking at her flour-covered clothes. With a wave of her wand, the fairy godmother transformed Cinderella's outfit. Suddenly, she was wearing the most beautiful ball gown. Cinderella looked down and saw a delicate pink glass slippers on her feet. "And sure you are home by midnight," said the fairy godmother. "Any later and the spell will be broken." When Cinderella arrived at the ball, she was the most beautiful girl in the palace. She was dressed so finely that even Max and Matilda didn't recognize her. When Prince Charming saw Cinderella, it was love at first sight. He asked her to dance with him. They whistled and quick-stepped and jiggled all evening. Suddenly, the clock began to strike. It was midnight. "I must leave," Cinderella told the prince. "Wait, please tell me your name," said Prince Charming, but it was too late. Cinderella was gone. As she ran from the palace, she lost one of her beautiful glass slippers. The prince picked up the slipper and carried it inside. The next morning, Prince Charming was feeling very sad. He had fallen in love with a beautiful girl but had no clue who she was. Then he looked at the empty glass slipper and had an idea. "I shall find the girl who owns this slipper," he called his footman. "Footman!" And they rushed from the palace to begin to search the village. After many hours calling at every house in the land, Prince has still not found the mystery girl. He was about to give up when he saw the last cottage. Bing bong went the doorbell. Cinderella's father answered the door. "Whoever this shoe fits, I shall marry," said the prince. Matilda rushed forward and tried this on the slipper, but it was too much small for her. Even Max tried on the shoe, but his foot was much too big. The prince then noticed Cinderella busy doing chores. She stepped forward and tried on the slipper. It was a perfect fit. Cinderella would marry the prince. Ding dong went the church bells. Cinderella looked wonderful dressed in her wedding gown. Standing by her side was Prince Charming, her new husband. "We're so sorry we hid your invitation to the ball," said Matilda and Max. "Please don't worry," said Cinderella as she smiled for her photographer. Flash went the camera. Princess Cinderella enjoyed life at the palace. From time to time, she still baked her favorite cookies. They became Prince Charming's favorites too. The prince and princess lived happily ever after. The end. Hooray! Hooray! Cheers are ringing around the hall. as the audience claps and shouts for more. The play is a greeting success. The friends take a bow and Hello Kitty receives a beautiful bouquet of flowers. Hello Kitty looks at dear Daniel across the stage. Maybe one day she thinks I will marry my prince. And the end for the whole story. I hope you enjoyed this story, boys and girls. Make sure to check on more books on YouTube on the channel Stories for Kids. Goodbye, girls and boys.